Hello, welcome to my channel. Well, it's the new year and I've not made a video since last August. I moved house and to be honest, I've only just got myself out of boxes. So this is my first video of 2022 and it's a little bit different. I used the line drawing of this image on several items on Redbubble, pillows, phone cases, stuff like that. And I'll post a link to those on my Facebook site, Carol Ann's Art, and I'll post a link to Carol Ann's Art in the description of this video. I'm not sure if I can post actual links in the description, but anyway, we'll see. So I was doing this painting and it occurred to me that not everybody wants to do a sketch. I don't usually do a sketch for a painting. I usually paint straight out of the end of my brush. And I thought some people find that a bit tedious, don't they? Doing a sketch of a landscape, seascape or something like that. So I thought it might be a good idea to do the sketch for you, which you can buy on etsy.com, Carol Ann's Art 123. And then you can watch the video and see how I paint it along with me, see what result you get. Here's the pillow, just plain black and white. I think it looks nice and modern. So once you've downloaded the image, you print it off on regular 8.5 by 11 paper, and then I use tracing paper, which you can get anywhere, Walmart, Michael's, wherever, online, Office Depot. And I go over the image using a number 2 pencil, which is nice and soft. It leaves a good coating of graphite on the tracing paper. This is the one I use. I get it from Amazon.com. So now you've got your image on the tracing paper and you're going to transfer it onto watercolor paper or whatever support you're using. I'm using Archie's cold press, but I actually prefer to use their hot press. It's nice and smooth. It's just better for my style, but you can use whichever. If you want the image to look exactly the same, you're going to have to flip the tracing paper and draw over on the opposite side so that you get graphite on both sides. And I use this set of Michael's acrylics. Actually, I think it's some folk art acrylic to do this painting. So here it is, and at this point you can make any adjustments that you like. Actually, you could do it earlier on the tracing paper. That's probably the best place to do it. You can take out leaves, add leaves, change the shape of the vase. Any little adjustment you want to make, now's the time. These paints aren't my usual set of colors, but I do believe that I can mix them into the colors I want. And actually they're quite vibrant and I think they'll make a very pretty painting. I didn't have any white, so I used gesso, which works just as well, to be honest. So I used the gesso and the blue to mix a background color. Actually, it has a sort of tinge of green in it, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody else might see it differently, but It's not quite a sky blue. If I were using my regular acrylics, I would use ultramarine blue, which gives a nice sky blue, I always think. I couldn't find my regular brush to use, so I did manage to locate a sponge brush, and it actually works just as well, so that's fine. And I'm just slapping the paint on in a crisscross manner, and I'll try and smooth it out a little bit. I like my backgrounds to be quite sort of bland and smooth without too many brush strokes, and I have to apologize for the spot on my camera lens, which is leaving that dark spot that you can see. I decided to show you my regular paints, which are Liquitex Basics, and I'll do a background in this color so you could see the difference. I'm not sure if you will be able to see the difference on camera, to be absolutely honest, but I can see a difference in real life, but we'll see. When you go over the image, the transfer will be quite faint. So I don't do the whole picture in one fell swoop. I do it a little bit at a time so that my eyes don't go crazy trying to find the lines. There, you can see the color difference. Okay, so I've put the blue, the pink, sort of a reddish pink, and the gesso out for the petals, and then the yellow and the green, and I'm using a round to do the petals. Well, as you can see, I forgot to turn my camera on for this little bit, but I can show you how to make the strokes. Pull them in from the very tip in toward the center, and use the very tip of the brush lightly and push down. Put a little more weight to bring it as you bring it in toward the center, and that gives you a very nice petal. I've mixed the blue and white together for most of the petals. You can add a little pink to it, just a tiny dab to make a lilac color. And then for the lightest petals and where the light strikes the flower, I've used straight white gesso. I usually use titanium white, but I find that gesso comes in a big bucket and it works just as well, and in the long run it's cheaper. But I don't really worry about that because acrylic is cheap anyway. Just to say, hydrangeas come in a variety of different colors, so you can make these your own, pink or green or whatever you come up with. I think it depends on the salts or chemicals they add to the ground. I don't know much about it. But you don't have to do what I do. You can make these hydrangeas any color that you like. You can mix as many values as you like, of course, but the three, mid-tone, highlight and shadow, actually work quite well. I used a round to paint a leaf, and it does give me a leaf shape, but it's not the best. I think a flat brush works better. It gives you the sharp edges of a leaf. Using a flat brush, I pull the leaf in from the outer edge to the center line of the leaf, and then turn my brush and work on the opposite side. I think that gives me a good leaf. I'm sure there are other ways of doing it. So that's my mid-tone on for the leaves, and I'll add yellow to the mixture and probably more white to give me a highlight. And I usually use a blue, a darker blue, to give me a shadow. I do sometimes go in with the veins and draw those in with a liner brush. Not always. Sometimes I think the brush strokes themselves delineate the leaf, and I don't need to do anything to them or add anything else to them. For my darkest shadow for the stems, I'm using the dark blue along with some red, which gives me a sort of dark purple colour, and that will be my stems, and I'll add highlights to those, probably with the yellow or green, maybe a touch of white, almost definitely some red. I always add a dark line under the vase to set the vase on a surface, otherwise it looks like it's floating in midair. You just need that, just a simple line of dark, whatever you use, burnt umber, raw umber. Raw umber is really good for that, actually. Notice how I drew the table edge straight through the glass vase. To make glass look transparent, you have to be able to see all the way through it, see to the background, see to the table's edge, whatever you have in the background. If you can add it to the vase, it'll make it look glassy, or make it look like a transparent object. Once you've got your basic mid-tones down, the picture is done, apart from highlights and shadow. And so that's when you start doing those things. It doesn't take as much time, obviously, as painting the entire picture, because you just need highlights where the light hits and shadow where there is no light. So it's bits of the picture that get painted once you get to this stage. I must apologize because you can't see the tabletop. I've got my camera at the wrong angle and you don't see the reflection of the vase, which is quite important. I'm thinking of this as a wooden tabletop with a glass vase reflected in the wood, in the shiny wood, and you can't see that. So there's nothing I can do about it now. This painting, because I don't have my usual colors, the tabletop is quite sketchily painted. You can see the background coming through, but it does look quite nice, I've got to admit. I don't know if other people have this problem, but I find whichever white I use, it dulls a little bit after it's dried, and I have to go in and reinforce it. And it's not a really big problem or anything, but that's what I usually do. I let it dry somewhat, and then I go back in and reinforce the highlight. To achieve the glassiness, I put in a vertical line of white, and then with a dry brush I pull it horizontally, and it's slightly curved to show the curve of the glass. I hope I've explained that properly. I'm going to use a Q-tip to put in the centers of the flowers, and they won't stay the first color that I put in. I usually dab on 2 or 3 different colors to make up the center. Well, I decided to put in the veins just to show you how I do it. I don't put in every single one, just the occasional one, and sometimes if I don't like them I'll go back and paint them out. When you're painting in acrylics, you know, it doesn't have to be set in stone, and I have repainted whole sections of my paintings before now if I've not liked part, and hope to improve a section of a painting. You can do that with acrylics easily. Well, I think I'm more or less done. Sometimes I have to force myself to stop painting before I make things worse. but I've put in all the highlights that I can. I think I've got it well balanced with highlight and shadow, and I'm fairly pleased with this painting as it is. And I'll put it up for sale on eBay, Carol Ann's Art, and you'll be able to help St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, because I always put a charity on my listings, so that's helpful to someone anyway. And I'll put the drawing up on Carol Ann's Art 123 on Etsy.com, and you can download it and give it a try for yourself. And you can do it as many times as you like once you've got the download, can't you? I don't put a limit on those. And good luck with it. I hope you produce something nice you can send out in cards to your friends, or whatever you want to use it for. Put it in your journals if you make journals. Anything really. I don't put any limitations on how people use my work. I do ask if I have a copyright in the corner for them to leave it in, and that's all really. Anyway, good luck.